Hey everyone, it's Bubbles and welcome back to my channel. Also welcome if you're new. So today's video is the special video. I just knocked my microphone, I'm sorry. So if you remember from a couple weeks ago in my speed build video, I was like, I hope it works out, because I wanted to show you guys the Halloween and Harvestmath festival on one of the games I play, because it's super fun. So I am on Lord of the Rings Online, which I've played for like 11 years now. And so I thought I'd chill with you guys and play the Halloween festival stuff. So yeah, and I might even think about doing this for the Yule Festival for winter around December times, because I thought that would be fun too. But yeah, anyways, so I was just gonna walk you guys through kind of what I do every year, because I do this every year. If it looks a little empty, this game is 11 years old and it is kind of getting, I assume, to the end of its life, which is kind of sad, but you know. But then it is also 1:30 on a Monday night, 1:30 a.m. So, and this is a US server, so we're just gonna pretend it's because of that. But anyways, so there's a couple areas I like going through for this festival, and the Haunted Burrow is one of them. So I'll just show you guys this. It's basically like a haunted house in the middle of the Shire, which is fun. And we basically get to do this alone, so that's nice. And then there's one other area that's called the, I can't even remember the name. I think it's the Wistfields. I don't know, but it's newer. And then there's another set of quests that are like more storyline that I thought I'd go through as well. So yeah. So this first one is really, it's a bunch of riddles, to be honest. Most of this stuff is fetch quests, which is fine, but yeah, this one is a riddle quest and it's timed. So gonna make it smaller because I can't see. Okay, I guess not. So this one is, I have to pick the correct bottle. So the riddle is, he weeps golden tears in morn's light, a mighty shield he makes at sun's height. In evening rain tumbles and cascades, at night sleeps bare in the bed he's made. And so the orange bottle has a warrior, the white bottle has a tree, and the blue bottle has a cloud. I'm pretty sure it's the cloud. Nope. Wow, I get that wrong every year when I actually try to do the frickin' riddle, even though I'm pretty sure I memorized it, but then the first time through I forget. Ooh, a spooky ghost. Now that I've screwed that one up, I'm pretty sure it's like white, blue, orange, blue or something. Let's try it. Without even reading. I've played this festival so many times, I have memorized everything. So if I go through it really fast, I apologize. Ah, heck yeah, I'm so good. And I even have time to get this stuff. Now you may be asking, oh, it's just a ghost. Hello ghost, how are you? The ghost in here just kicked. You may be asking, why am I up at 1:30 a.m. on a Monday evening? And it is because I'm on fall break. I ain't got no school, it's fine. And so when you do these fetch quests for all of the festivals, because there's not just like a few of them, there's one for every season and they have a couple others, but you get tokens. And you can go over to this person over here, the festival trader, and you can like trade them for goods and stuff. I just checked this year and it looks like it's the same stuff from last year,
Stay and
which
have some tea.
funnily enough I'm wearing already. And I have cute little bee wings.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
This guy lost all of his crap in here, and now I have to go and search through it, which is fun because there's nasty stuff in here. So fun. And then, like, fun thing about this one is there's a bunch of doors that lead to the same place, but they'll put you right at the beginning again. Oh, and there's like, for this one, you're supposed to search through a bunch of different objects or piles of stuff, but since I know where they're at, it doesn't take me very long. Oh, bless you. Man, screw you, spider. Oh, come on. Leave me alone. Heck off. Oh my god. Go away. Heck off. Oh, this one's disgusting. A mystery barrel of flesh. And my character just throws a 10 out of 10. I don't know why there's a poor squirrel stuck down here. You good, bro? You know what, hang on. There's some secrets over here. And I'm in, Bilbo's house. Nice. Oh, someone's cat. Oh, it's so pretty. I actually have updated this quite a bit since when I first started playing it. Like, there wasn't all this, like, extra, like, visual detail. They actually added grass in. They, like, majorly upheld the graphics in here. But, you know. I think the reason it's gone, it hasn't like gotten a whole lot of people playing anymore is probably because
Stay and have some tea.
I think they're having a new release coming out for like expansion, like good to bad expansion, but they're getting to the point where they don't have much left to put in the game, because when I started playing in 2010 and it came out in 2007, I believe. So Jesus, can I just pick it up, please? So it was 3 years old by the time I had started playing it, and the most recent expansion they had at the time was Moria, which, if you think about it in the grand scheme of this, what am I doing? I'm going outside for no reason. I'm not done in there. In the grand scheme of this game, that's pretty early on, actually. It was Moria and Angmar, I guess, but yeah, that's actually pretty early on in this game. I think the max level, I don't even know what the max level is anymore. Last time I checked it was 165, but I think it's more than that now. I don't know. I really don't. But, around when I started playing, the max level was like 65, I believe. In the early 60s or 50s or something. So it was pretty new. I think they're supposed to be having a major update to it because there's a new Amazon series coming out that's supposed to be about the 5th age. Oh, look at me nerding out. But I don't know if this game has gotten too old now because, like, before they were trying to, like, update it. I don't know. It just kind of makes me sad because I grew up with this game. I just know it eventually it's gonna leave, and it's gonna make me sad because I have a lot of characters on here that I like. So I suppose I should, like, take as many screenshots as possible before it goes away. Which sounds kind of morbid, but you know, whatever. These 2 quests I'm doing are just like going through it and collecting objects.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
That prove I went there. And this one's a race, even though I can probably race through this place in like a minute. 3 minutes isn't a race. What the heck? Either way, I know this game is getting old, and I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to play it, but if you guys do want to see me play this game at all, other than festivals, let me know. I'd be happy to. But I don't think I'd be starting a new character just because I have a full set of characters on this server. And they're all different kinds of classes. And so, yeah. Let's see, I think the lowest level character I have on this server is like, I think she's level 30, I don't know, I can't remember. And this is the highest level character I have. So, 94. But, which is funny because it's the farthest I've ever gotten in this game. Even though I've been playing it for 10 years, you'd think I'd, you know, be at max level, but no. I spend too much time recreating characters for different classes and replaying the whole thing, because I just do that. I don't know, man. It's my vibe. Okay. This lady lost all of her friends.
Stay and have some tea.
What'd you do that for? What the heck? there's this creepy guy in here. So. But yeah, I'd be happy to just have some episodes or gameplay of just me like playing this game just like as I normally would.
Mercy me!
Just let me know. But this game is freakishly long. It is an online game, so it's meant to be. But yeah.
Hello there!
Oh, he's just playing with his potions. That's nice.
Mercy me!
Let's see. There's one over. Oop. Hold up. I apologize for the lag. This game does seem to lag a little more than it used to. Sad face.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Oh, gracious me!
I found all your freaking friends. Now don't lose them again, you stupid.
Hello there.
Stay and have some tea.
Here, let's beat the crap out of a hobbit dressed in a skeleton uniform. 'Cause why not?
Hiya!
Boo-hoo. So these last three in this Haunted Burrow are me going and investigating stuff that people have seen in it. Like this one was a skeleton, a walking skeleton. The next one's a bear. And the third one is a ghost. All I have to say is 10 out of 10.
Hello there.
I find it funny that they
Stay
did
and
the
have some
Haunted
tea.
Burrow in the Shire, because if you know anything about hobbits, they're scaredy little shits. Okay, everyone, I'm sorry about that. For a second there, my game crashed. And I think it was because I had a pop-up on my screen, which just screws everything up. Yeah, this game really doesn't like it when there's a pop-up on my screen. In fact, none of my games that have to go full screen like that, so sorry. You probably didn't see anything, but yeah. I keep getting this stupid pop-up for my freaking AVG, like, virus protection, and it's like, your subscription has ended, you must resubscribe, and I'm like, please shut up. And like sends me a notification pop-up, like it feels like every hour, and it's so annoying. So when I get a pop-up during like this game, it freaks out, and I have to like it like freezes the game up, so I have to like task manager it to shut it down, and I'm like, really stop, sheesh, just let me enjoy my spooks. We're going to have a good October this month, and so far I have, so please shut up. No, I have thought about what other online games I'd start getting into if this one were to end anytime soon.
How do you do? Hello
I'm
there.
sorry,
Might I
okay,
speak with
it
you a
just
moment?
makes me sad, because this game is nostalgic for me. Because, you know, what I would have to do to fill the void in my soul is to find another game that's similar to this and put all the characters I have in here on it. Because I'm crazy. Ow! Let me stab you! Not me going around and just committing assault on these poor hobbits that are trying to spook me. No, nothing terrible. I mean, I like these characters so much that I've come up with my own, like, personalities for them, that one of them is my D&D character, which my friends will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've also put all these characters on The Sims because I'm crazy. Yeah, so if you saw on my Instagram like a while ago when I was doing a bunch of lookbooks, those are all my Lord of the Rings Online characters put in The Sims because I was bored. At that point, it's just like, go off, sis. Also, your gourd lurker is adorable. His name is Pumpkin. Okay, so before Wistmead, that's what it's called. So before I go over there, I thought I'd do the first part of the storyline quest. So there's like 2 parts of it, and I'm hoping it's not going to take forever, otherwise this episode might be very long, which I saw but it's for spooks, so why not? So, this is Bingo Boffin. He, in the normal quest line outside of the festival, he's like a hobbit who wants to go on an adventure, and you basically follow him all throughout Middle-earth. He's really supposed to follow your, like, quest line through Middle-earth, but yeah, he follows you to the festival, which is fun. So I'm not gonna read all of this because he talks a lot, but there is one part where they're sharing scary stories that I will read because they're funny. And some other things later in part 2, but yeah, so this one I'm just helping a bunch of his cousins, I think. Are they his cousins? I don't know. And then there's one other thing I forgot. I can bob for apples over here, which I always seem to get the small ones. Good stuff. Yep, small apple, of course. And I can only do it once.
I'm pleased to be of service.
Every couple of hours. Heckin' Nickerson. Okay. So, one of them's over here. Ah, yeah. She wants me to go pick up an apple bobbing tin at the base of the hill, so. Ah, yes. We love this glitch. Do it again. This storyline quest really just takes a while because it's a bunch of back and forth, so I'll try to cut out as much of that as possible, but you know how that goes. Oh, this game also has a lot of quests where you have to avoid people because they're out to get you, apparently. I don't know. Especially the Shire, because there's like a chain of quests you can do where you're supposed to take pies out to people, like pie delivery, and there'll be hungry hobbits along the way that you gotta avoid. I don't know, it's very weird. Good stuff. And I have to get another one, so I'll be right back. Okay, And then I think the other one's, there she is. Well, I guess you're here too. The heck am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay, I see. She wants me to go and tell other people to dance. Yeah, all of these hobbits have like some weird problem with them. She's got a need for dancing. One of them can't ever stop eating. The other one's like the big sister, the one I was helping with the apple tubs. There's one that sleeps all the time. And then there's the odd one out that likes adventuring, which is supposed to be weird. Good stuff. Oh, and I think there's another one that talks too big and is actually a wuss. I'm just gonna sit here and clap my hands. Heck yeah. Wow. I believe this is all of their mother, and I have to find somebody. Where'd he go? Oh, he's sleeping over here. He's lazy. He didn't even make it up to the festival area. He just fell asleep on the road. Mood, bro, mood. Oh, there he is. He's standing next to... Oh yeah, this guy's trying to spook him, and he's too tired. He said, wow, nice costume. I'm gonna go back to bed. I mean, I thought your costume was cool, man. Don't feel too down. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, this Haunted Burrow ain't that cool, what the heck? He's the, party pooper, but in actuality, he's a giant wimp. Fun. I also don't know how to say this guy's name, so I'm just gonna call him Dino. Yeah, that's nice, dude. Go away. Jesus. Yeah, he's like picking apart their decorations. Okay, hold on, my guy. They did a dang good job, screw you. I like their decorations. What's wrong with you, man? Why don't you have any Halloween spirit? Boo-hoo. something darker and more maze-like, how about you go into the cornfield in the Wistmead area? I think you'll get the pants scared right off of you. The Wistmead maze has one maze, or it is one maze I have not been able to memorize yet because it changes. Which is cool, but I ain't got time for that. There is another maze in the Spring Festival, actually, that's really fun, but I've memorized the whole entire thing, so I can whip through it in like 2 seconds flat. The one they put in Wistmead is, number one, it's impossible to do in a few minutes. Like, it's just long. And then, where do you want me to go? Why do I have to go and get you a freaking job? All you tell me to do is just run all over the place. What the heck, bro? His fest quests are, like, terrible. I hate them. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the corn maze in Wistmead is actually quite difficult because it changes, I don't know, does it change like every hour or something? And I don't know how many versions of it there are. I haven't sat down and decided to do that. When I used to play this game in middle school, I had tons of time to do that. But yeah, this guy on his normal quest line, not like outside of the festival stuff, when you first talk to him, he's like, okay, I'm going on an adventure, and you're like, cool. So you have to like take him all the way across the Shire to like test himself or something. I don't even know, because the dude can't swim, so you take him down all the way to the Brandywine Bridge, which is on the complete other side of the Shire, and see if he can swim, which he can't, but we all pretend he can because we want to make him feel better. But then, like, when you finally start out on the adventure, he's like, oh, I forgot me handkerchief, can you go fetch it for me? And I'm like, no, go away. Get it your damn self, you don't need that. And then he forgets, like, his walking stick, and then he forgets something else, and it's like, dude, piss off. And like, before you even start on the freaking like quests, he's having you take things that he borrowed from his neighbors back to them, and it's like every time you go back to them or to give their stuff back, they're like, why are you giving me it back? He was like years ago when he borrowed this. It's no longer mine by this point. Which is hilarious. Ah, yes. So I found him a spooky book to look through that we're gonna borrow. I'll bring it back when I get back to him, because it's just gonna be me running around everywhere. Okay, now we're gonna go with him at night and tell some spooky ghost stories. But first, I have to show you my skeleton horse because it's just cool. I totally forgot I had this. Woohoo! Anyway, let's go tell some ghost stories. Yes, this lady has so many kids. Just stop. Just stop. And we're out in the middle of the forest. Cool. Okay, so he has me choose who to start off. There's a couple people that have scary stories, like you don't. And you don't, because you suck. She does. So I guess I'll go through and read this one. She said she overheard this when she was very little. And she's our adventurous hobbit, so this one goes, long ago a wealthy hobbit named Longo Proudfoot lived alone in a fancy manor in Mickle Delving. He enjoyed expensive things and employed many servants, and it was a poorly kept secret that he did not treat them well. He enjoyed the food they prepared for him, but he was consumed with distrust, and he feared they would sneak into his pantry and steal the ingredients with him for their own families. What a douche. So it was that Longo had strong locks and heavy bars installed on his pantry and carried the only keys. When it was time for his servants to prepare his dinners, he would march them to the door, carefully unlock everything, and stand by watching them while they removed what they needed. He carefully marked the quantities of each foodstuff, and if it seemed more was being withdrawn than necessary, he would have strong words at the ready. He is a sussy boy. This continued for some time, but still Longo was certain that his servants were stealing his food. I cannot say for sure, but it seems to me that the extreme measures he used to prevent it must have inflamed the servants' desire to perpetrate some thievery, but that might just be my perspective as a rebellious hobbit. At any rate, there came a day when Longo's suspicions were at their greatest level, and he called all of his servants into the sitting room. I no longer have need of any of your services, he proclaimed, and dismissed them all. Go steal from someone else's larder, he cried, as they streamed from the manor. That night, as Longo lay in bed, he found that his suspicions had not been eased by dismissing all of his servants. On the contrary, he was worried they would not be bound by loyalty and might break into the manor to gain access to his pantry. Where were his keys? Ah, they're there. Still, they might have performed the deed and replaced the keys when they were done. Longo hurried to the pantry and found the many locks as he had left them earlier in the day. He unlocked every one and threw open the door, revealing shelf upon shelf of useful ingredients and foodstuffs. As he went inside for a closer look, he brushed the door by mistake, and it swung shut behind him. If he had not been so focused on counting the bags of flour and inventorying the pickling jars, he might have heard the heavy bar fall into place outside the door, but he did not. No one knows how long it took before anyone noticed that they had not seen him set foot from his manor for some time, for he had told the servants not to return, and he had no friends or family to check on him. He might have lasted for quite some time in that well-stocked pantry, but in the end, after all, does it really matter if it was days or if it was months? But hobbits in the Shire have reported feelings of discomfort in their own pantries late at night, as if they were being watched from behind the shelves, and some folk have claimed to see eyes peering out at them from between the bags and boxes, eyes full of jealousy and distrust. Ooh. I'm just gonna read all of them because the stories come like in later as like a fun little ooh. So if you read all of them, you'll get to see like how they play in the future. So how do you say your name? I don't know. Okay, Camellia? Sure, why not? Let's go with that. Let's see. So this one is about the farms of Budgeford, which are out way far away from here. Let's see. It's about a farm out in Budgeford, but the farm stood right on the river's edge, and it belonged to a hobbit named Everard. He was a bolger, as are many of the folk of Budgeford, but whereas most of the bolgers are fine farmers, he struggled daily to maintain his crop. Either it was taken by blight, or savaged by crows, or munched by rabbits, and on many occasions he had to depend upon the charity of his neighbors for his family to survive. Everard blamed his scarecrow most of all. No matter how hard he tried, he could not fashion a suitably frightening scarecrow. Every day the birds came to feast on his crops, undeterred. He was at his wits' end on a Tuesday, and even as he glowered at his failing scarecrow, a raven flew down from the sky and lighted upon it. "Oh, I'll teach you what you deserve," Everard growled as he swung his trowel at the bird. The raven just flew out of reach and then landed once again upon the scarecrow's straw hat. "You seem upset, friend," the raven said. This set Everard back a bit. For a while he had heard stories of speaking birds. He had never encountered one himself. "Upset," he managed. "Of course, you birds won't leave my crops alone, you vile things." "It does seem like you deserve better," the raven responded. "If you like, I can speak to my people and see if perhaps we could come to an arrangement. I'd be willing to do this for you if you let me sample some of these grains." Everard thought it over and could see few drawbacks to the raven's proposal. After all, one bird's appetite would be less than a whole flock, and by giving up some of the crop he might secure safety for the rest. "I agree," he told the bird, and watched as it devoured some of the crop and flew away. The next day saw little improvement, and birds continued to harry his crops. He was certain he would not see the raven again, but to his surprise the bird appeared and spoke. Not smoke. No, birds don't smoke. "They say they want to help you out, but they can't resist the taste of the crops you're growing here. They said what you need is a better scarecrow. That would make it much more difficult for them to fly near. I have tried to make this one scarier," Everard told him, "but it's just no good. Let's see what we can do." The Wednesday sun crossed the sky and as dusk approached, Everard's wife sent their daughter Holly to bring Everard in for supper. As Holly approached the field, she marveled at how lifelike appeared the second scarecrow her father had made. He must have spent all day fashioning it. It looked just like a hobbit. As she watched, a raven hopping among the grain squawked and flew away. Okay, he had hallucinations and got himself killed. That's fun. She does not have any. Oh, okay. He's got one. Odo Grubb was the finest fisherman the Shire had ever seen, and none who cast their lines today can hope to rival in his skill, nor should they, if you believe the tale I'm about to tell. I believe it, for it surely is true. Odo's name was known far and wide throughout the Shire in his day, and it seemed he could not find any fish. He could find fish in any body of water, not just fish, but fish of a size you would hardly have expected. Where most hobbits would pull minnows of middling sizes from their hooks, Odo could cast into the river and take from it fish of incredible beauty, their rainbow scales glittering, creatures of a size that no hobbit had ever drawn before. So skilled was he that he dared clamber into a boat of his own making and fish far from the banks, which was very unusual for hobbits of his day, and indeed remains so, yet it also proved unwise, for there came a day when a great behemoth of a fish seized his line and pulled his boat rapidly along with the current. Most hobbits would have dropped their rod and rowed to safety, but Odo had a reputation to uphold. He braced himself against the sides and held onto the rod for dear life. "I will make you mine," he proclaimed to the great fish as it pulled him along. "I will be the victor in this contest, or my name isn't Odo Grubb, Master Fisherman." The battle lasted for days, and the mighty fish pulled Odo's boat far from the Shire and into lands unknown to all hobbits. At last, consumed by hunger and weariness, Odo released his hold on the fishing rod, and it flew out of the boat and into the water. "I give up," he said to no one as his boat slowed from its rapid pursuit. He picked up the oars and prepared to begin the long journey homeward. Then something bumped into the underside of his boat, and the oars broke from the locks and fell into the water, but his rapid journey southward continued. "What is happening?" he cried aloud, and peered over the side into the water below. The great fish had not left him, but remained, pushing the boat on its southward course. "Where are you taking me?" Odo demanded, but the fish did not respond. This continued for many days, until Odo was faint with hunger. He collapsed in the base of his boat, and once again wondered when the great fish would let him go. "Did you bring me here just to let me die?" he cried aloud, too weak to even shake his fist at the cruel skies. When he heard a splash and another, small fish were leaping from the water and landing in the boat. "What "What luck," he gasped, and grabbed them with both hands. He ate them raw, which he would have found distasteful back home, but on this terrible day, he was glad for the unexpected gift. His vigor renewed, Odo was now strong enough to keep watch from the front of his boat, and that is how he saw the great sea approaching, and the river's end. The boat slowed, and the great fish halted its pushing. It lifted its great head from the water, and Odo saw that the creature was not alone. There were fish of every imaginable size and shape surrounding his boat. "What do you want?" he asked. As Odo surveyed the vast variety of diverse species that surrounded him, he found that he recognized every type of fish. At one point or another in his esteemed career, he had caught at least one of each of these types, and in some cases many. "You hold me responsible," he whispered. You came for me for revenge?" The fish stared at him with bulbous eyes, their gills working silently just beneath the surface of the water. But you fed me. Why keep me alive?" There was no response from the silent assembled, but suddenly they moved as one. Hundreds of fish pressed against the sides and bottom of Odo's boat, and the silvery rainbow multitude forced the boat from the fresh water of the river into the salt of the great sea, dying as they went. And so Odo Grubb paid the price for his success. Give a thought to him on this night, floating on the great sea far away, never to return. Okay. Cool beans. Well, the next one, we'll get to read the rest of them, so I didn't mean to click that. Who else has some? You do, you do. Do you? Of course you do. Okay, cool. Oh, this one's about a widow. Okay. A very old and by most accounts rather unpleasant hobbit, the widow Spinner was enamored of one of the homes on Myrtle Court, and she greatly desired to purchase it. She was not the only interested buyer, of course, but she had the most money to spend, and she was able to outbid her chief rival, a young hobbit named Bob Newbuck. She purchased the most desirable home on Myrtle Court, and she lived there for several months, much to Bob's consternation. Well, Bob wasn't one to give up, even when losing in contests, and he made it a point to pass by Myrtle Court as often as possible, scowling in the direction of the widow Spinner's home at every opportunity. One night as he passed by the lane, he heard a strange voice calling in the darkness. He looked more closely and saw the widow Spinner standing in the yard beside her burrow, wearing a long nightshirt and sleeping cap. Crazy old bat, Bob thought to himself as he continued down the lane to his own, comparably disappointing and cramped burrow. Thinking back on that curious sight sometime later, Bob decided that he might have been the last person to see the widow Spinner before she disappeared. Indeed, no one else could tell the sheriffs what had happened to her or where she had gone. Bob was as helpful as he could be, and he told them what little he knew, but it was not long before the widow Spinner was declared dead, and 6 Myrtle Court was once again available to purchase. Bob wasted no time and purchased the house, and it was everything he hoped it would be. He decorated it to his liking and lived there happily for several months. He was lying in bed one night sometime after midnight when he heard a voice. "Help me," it called from somewhere outside Bob's cozy bedroom. What is that? Bob wondered to himself, and pulled the covers up to his chin. "Help me," the voice called again. Bob squeezed his eyes shut, but then decided that the morning was too far off, and there would be no escaping the plaintive voice. He followed its call out of his bedroom, down the hall, and finally outside. The air was cold, and the night was dark, but he was able to hear the voice clearly enough to follow it to the side yard, where the well was dug. Sure enough, the voice echoed up from the dark hole in the ground. "Help me," it asked again. Bob leaned over the hole and scowled. "Spinner, if that's you down there," he began, but he wasn't able to finish his sentence before he thought something slammed into his back, and he slipped on the wet grass. Bob tumbled down the well, and everything went dark. When he woke, he was lying half in and half out of the water, deep inside the well. A crevice in the wall opened into a chamber dug out of dirt, and he was wedged painfully in that crack. He felt woozy, and it was so hard to make his eyes focus. Gradually they did, and he saw the widow spinner sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall of the dirt chamber, a teapot and several plates arranged around her. "Help me," the voice said once again, and Bob realized that it came not from the widow spinner, but from somewhere much closer, right by his ear. "Help me set out the tea," it continued. She will be so happy to have someone over for tea. Something pulled at his arm roughly, and Bob disappeared into the dirt chamber. He was never seen again. And I heard that 6 Myrtle Court is available for purchase again, if you don't mind tea at midnight. Nice. Let's see. This one is on the subject of napping, of course. It's the dude who sleeps all the time. Many years ago, a hobbit named Hamson Broadbeam lived in the town of Overhill. He was a woodworker of much renown, and folk came from all throughout the Shire to buy his crafted goods. You can still find oaken chests bearing his mark in hobbit holes throughout all of the Four Farthings, though Hamson himself is only remembered in this tale. He was a victim of his own success. There were so many orders from so many customers that he had to stay awake late into the evening to finish each crafted good, stumbling into bed as the first beams of light began to shine through the trees into Overhill. His work began to suffer, and he feared that his reputation would be tarnished unless something changed, and quickly. One day, Hamson was drowsily walking through the Bindbole Wood to an area where he was accustomed to felling trees for his workbench. As he approached the location, he felt the hair on his toes stand up. Something was watching him from the tree canopy. Well, it was probably the spiders, because there's a heck ton of spiders over there. "Hello? Is anyone there?" he called. "I live here," a thin, reedy voice replied. Hamson squinted up at the branches, but could not see the speaker. It's a spider, my guy. "I don't see you," Hamson said. "Am I asleep? I must have fallen asleep somewhere on the trail, and now I am dreaming. I hope no animals find my body while I sleep." "You seem pretty awake to me," the mysterious voice answered. "At least you're not asleep, but perhaps you should be. Your limbs hang loosely, your eyelids droop, and I see exhaustion in every part of you." Hamson was impressed that this strange new acquaintance could read the situation so clearly, and he described the many demands on his time that prevented him from sleeping. "If only I didn't need to sleep," he exclaimed. "I need worry about nothing." At first the voice from the tree canopy did not respond. Then a small twig with red berries fell from aloft, landing in the dirt by Hamson's feet. "What's this?" he asked. "I do not need sleep," the voice responded. "Eat those berries, and you will not need to sleep either." Normally, Hamson would not have trusted such a gift from a stranger, particularly from one so strange as this. But he so desperately wanted the berries to do as the voice promised, that he did not give it a second thought. He ate them greedily, but felt no different. He asked how long it would take for him to notice their effect, but the voice did not respond. Angrily, Hamson went home. He didn't even care to collect the wood that he had brought home, that had brought him into the forest in the first place. So disappointed and out of sorts was he. That night, Hamson fashioned a set of chairs requested by a wealthy patron, and the work was delicate enough that he found himself quite engaged, and still awake by dawn. In fact, his drowsiness had departed, and he worked all the rest of the day and into the following evening. "Can it be," he asked his empty burrow, "did those berries take my English, good God. Did those berries take away my need of sleep?" It seemed to be so, and Hamson had never been so happy. The following weeks were a delight for the woodworker, and he finished every order set before him. When there were no more orders to fill, he read his small collection of books, and he felt he had become a much smarter and more cultured, gentle hobbit. When there were no more books to read, he took long walks to the Shire at night and marveled at the nighttime beauty of the countryside. When that finally lost its luster, he returned to his home and lay awake in his bed. He had exhausted everything he wanted to do, and now he was bored. All he wanted to do was close his eyes and sleep, but try as he might, he would never sleep again. As bad as he had felt before, now he felt worse. Every day felt like an eternity, and every night felt like two. Hampson walked every inch of the Bendbolt wood, calling for the mysterious voice to return and give him different berries, but as far as I know, he never found it. He might be walking there still, just over there, seeking an end to his endless wakefulness. Yeah, we're in the middle of the Bendbolt wood. I'm pretty sure up that way is where the spiders are. And the final one, let's see. Many, many years ago, long before our family trees had so much as sprouted, there was a small village on the banks of the Brandywine not far from where Stock is located today. One of the prominent figures in this village was a fellow named Gerd Goodcliff. He had the respect of his neighbors and was consulted about many of the matters that faced the town. It was widely held that when the time came for Mayor to step down, Gerd would easily be chosen to take his place. One day, Gerd was walking among the reeds at the river's edge when he heard a small voice among the rushes. How curious, he thought to himself, and he squatted down in the mud to find the owner of the voice. Finding nothing, he prepared to stand once again, but before he could, a large black cat padded out of the reeds. "Well, hello there," he greeted the cat and turned to go. "Hello yourself," it said to him. Gerd was most surprised, for this was the first time a cat had ever spoken to him. Once he recovered himself, he found that the cat was not simply talkative, but quite friendly as well. It introduced himself as Green Eyes and said that it came from a faraway land in search of a home. Gerd was happy to offer Green Eyes such a place at his own humble burrow, and Green Eyes contributed in his own way, keeping mice and other undesirables away from Gerd's pantry. In time, Green Eyes proved capable at finding much more than mice. He would stalk throughout the village, creeping into half-open windows and pushing open unlatched doors. He learned many interesting rumors and overheard much gossip about the hobbits of the town, and he recounted each delicious morsel to Gerd with delight. Gerd began to look upon his neighbors with distaste and distrust, and he found he could no longer stand to engage in conversation with them. "What would you expect? You know hobbits are gossip mongrels. You know that, right? Come on now." He became cold and distant, and the other hobbits avoided him when they saw him on the road, crossing to the other side rather than speak with him. When they returned to their homes, Green Eyes would follow behind and listen while they called Gerd off-putting, odd, and unfriendly. The cat recounted these stories to Gerd with regret, but his tail twitched back and forth happily. "I don't need these liars as friends anyway," Gerd told him one day. "I have you, Green Eyes, and you're the only friend this hobbit needs." Green Eyes nodded, his tail twitching. Not long afterwards, a day came when Gerd could not find Green Eyes anywhere. Despairing and certain that one of his neighbors had done some harm to his friend, he ran screaming out into the center of the town. Folk watched his raving progress through the village, and their whispers were no longer hushed or hidden. Madly, Gerd ran down to the banks of the river, and there at last he found his friend. Green Eyes stood among the reeds, and with his two front paws he pushed a small boat out into the river. Okay. He clambered into it and turned back to face Gerd as it floated out on the current. "Why, Green Eyes? Why must you leave?" Gerd called out to him. Green Eyes did not respond, but only watched him silently until the current bore him away and out of sight. No one knows what happened to Gerd Goodcliff after that, but he never came back to town, and he never became mayor. But there are some who say that if the moon is high in the sky, like it is tonight, you might catch a glimpse of Green Eyes on his boat, floating away down the river, his tail twitching, twitching, twitching. "Dang, cat, what an ass. Why you leave your friend like that, bruh? Damn." That's funny. My cats have a black cat with green eyes. Yes, Bingo, it's your turn. Oh, sweet. Another one. Cool. Pretty sure this one's about, like, ballet shoes or something. And he's just saying it's older than everyone here. Even in the earliest days of the Shire, festivals were already important to our distant ancestors. Were there Boffins even then? I'd like to think so, although I have not seen a family tree that extends back that far. Blah, blah, blah. cool. He talks a lot. We're gonna skip that. A young girl by the name of Menegilda. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sure, we're gonna go with that. She desired to win a dancing competition, but her chief rival, one Peony, excelled at the art and bested her at every opportunity. M was obsessed with winning the great prize, and she became convinced that Peony owed her success to the violet shoes she always wore. M hatched a plan to steal the shoes. What a bitch. I'm just kidding. She surprised Peony on the banks of the Brandywine and demanded she hand over the shoes. Peony refused and said that there was a spell on the shoes. They would work only at her command, and they would do M no good at all. M was not dissuaded. In fact, the revelation that the shoes were enchanted filled her with happiness at last, an explanation to her continued failure to beat Peony at dancing. Peony removed the shoes and threw them at her rival. "Fine," she cried, "have them. I will tell my father what you have done, and you won't be allowed to dance at all." This was a mistake, but Peony did not understand the rage that seethed within M's heart. M charged at her with her arms raised, and she pushed Peony into the river. She never surfaced. Dang, she's so cold she killed a bitch. God dang. M put on her stolen shoes and returned to town. There were whispers, but no one had seen her encounter with Peony, and it was believed that Peony may have run away, seeking her fortune beyond the borders of the Shire. M did not care. Her every thought was bent on winning the next dance contest. A few weeks later, M wore her new shoes and danced on the stage before all the assembled hobbits. Everyone cheered and applauded, for they had never seen such dancing before, not even when Peony had participated. M was the clear winner. And yet something was wrong. Someone tried to present M with a winning ribbon, but she merely continued to dance. Everyone applauded again, but she showed no signs of stopping. "I think that's enough, dear," someone called, but now there were tears streaming from her face, and the assemblage came to understand that she wanted to stop, but she could not. Folk rushed the stage and sought to remove the violet shoes, but they would never come off. M's feet flew left and right, here and there. But even when she fell into a stupor, the dance continued. At last it stopped, but M's dancing days were done. Those shoes were packed into a box and it was sealed away, hid in a dusty corner of a forgotten burrow. Hobbits spoke for a time of M and the cursed shoes, but eventually the story passed into legend, and folk doubted if it had really happened, even as they feared to speak it. And that's why hobbits never wear shoes. Seems so obvious, yeah. That's not true. That can't be true. Yes, our party pooper. They're not nonsense. Screw you. I don't know. They're pretty good for hobbits. Hobbits are scaredy cats, man. Oop. The Madam house is like a vault of old stuff. They keep like relics and stuff in it. Well, Esmeralda will, because she's the dancy pants. I guess we'll just have to cut your feet off. Okay, I'll cut her feet off. have to amputate her. Oh. He's throwing a tantrum. Bye. I wouldn't go there, but okay. Yes, it was all a prank on him because he's a little butt. So now we're gonna go and find him. But yes, everyone was in on the joke. It was quite funny. Okay, I'm gonna go find him. Be right back. Here he is. You ran all the way this way, and you know there's frickin' spiders up there, you stupid. Oh, and then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm scared of everything. I was just putting on a show. And of course, he dropped his freaking backpack over here, so I have to go get it, because he's a wuss-puss. Oh, and then there's this creepy ghost over here. Spectral vision! Woo! Nice fire. I like your fire, bro. You got cool fire. What's up? How you doing? Let's see. I'm gonna read out what this thing says because it's important for later, but it says there can be no reparations for the hurt that has been done. In 1 year, all will fear the parting of the wood. None will escape the curse of the Eerie Acres. Despair and repair to your holes, for none but one will laugh when all is done. Dang. Eerie Acres is the second part, and it's good fun. Not gonna lie, when I was going through that storyline, it was kind of spooky, not gonna lie. But the way this is originally set up, when you first discover the bingo stuff and you get to the festival, you go through that and then you have to wait till the next year. But since I've done both of them, I can do them all at once. So we're about to finish the first part, but then I go to them and I'm like, I saw a spooky ghost, and they're like, no you didn't. What are you talking about? You're seeing things. You're crazy. So then I go and try to show them, and it's gone. Hey. It's not here anymore. Oh, heck. I must be having that good old hallucinations. So let me climb up this hill, because they want me to. Okay, so I got to the top, and I see nothing. It's gone. Woo! So I'm just gonna jump off the cliff and go back. It's just hopping gifts. Anyway, okay, so now I'm gonna go talk to Bingo back at the party tree, so I'll be right back. And you get a whopping 24 tokens for that, which is fun. So now we're going to Wistmead, which is a real fun place, and I think because the storyline takes me so long, I think I'm going to skip the fetch quests in this area just because they're quite boring compared to the Haunted Burrow. So I'm gonna ignore them because we're gonna be in this place a lot for the storyline, so you'll get to see it, but it's real spooky. Ooh, there's the corn maze. Actually, that might be a wheat maze. Oh well. You're clearly suspicious of this place. I wonder why. But it's fun here. Oh, and like the ambiance in this place is just cool. Cause there's like ambience of wolves. I'm pretty sure there's like laughing children. And I'm pretty sure someone screams at the end, which is fun. So. Oh, and these scarecrows are just cool. Like, look at that guy. Hang on. Oh, and there's someone breathing in my ear. Good stuff. Oh, he's too scared out of his wits to go to sleep. Well, boo-hoo. How about you go enjoy yourself, you frick. Let's see. Can you stop sniffing my ear, please? That's great. You're freaking me out. What the heck? Where am I going? Where are you, you stupid There you are. Now, here's the other skeleton horses. Neat. Let's see. We're seeing if the curse is here because Bingo's like, there must be a curse afoot. So this storyline is us trying to figure out if there is a curse. So he's like, oops, I was supposed to talk to somebody. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out if there's a mystery here, which is good stuff. I don't know where she is, dude. Come on. Mind the tables. Oh, okay. Over here. Oh, this one's funny because she's like... Oh yeah, she's the big sister delivery kind of person. She tells me, I must warn you about something. The pie filling has been fashioned with blackberries and currants and should be delicious. But Holly Hornblower has made it all look like the pies are filled with creepy crawlies and spiders. A number of hungry hobbits may try to get in your way, but give them a good look at the pie and they will surely leave you alone. God dang, that's funny. That's actually really funny, not gonna lie. There's a scream. Oh, so spooky! I mean, I'd eat it if it looks like it's got spiders in it. Come on, blackberries and currants. That sounds tasty. Oh, and he's afraid to eat it. He's the one that eats everything. Lol. Get frickin' riggedy wrecked, my guy. Let's see. Marigold is over here. She stands by a fog-enshrouded path on the edge of Wistmead. Let's see, she was told she has to stay where her mom can see her, basically, because she likes exploring. And then she tells me I should go through the fog area, which I completely agree with, because it looks like it needs explored. But first... Wait, oh. I'm going ahead of myself. She just wants me to go in. It's real foggy and spooky. I walk along the path for a time, but the fog is very thick and I got turned around. So we're on like the backside of the maze, which is there. Even just the back pathways are just cool. Like, let's go spook Marigold. I think someone's dying off in the distance. What do you think? We're gonna go spook her by walking up behind her when we went ahead of her. Lol. How did you get there back here without me seeing you? And she calls the fog mysterious and magical. Good stuff. Okay, now we're gonna go talk to this one guy who I think is hosting this part of the festival to see if there's a curse, because Bingo is just not gonna drop it, which I don't blame him. Oh, and this guy basically goes on about, please shut up and leave me alone and go enjoy the festivities or I'm going to kick you out. He's real angry because people aren't enjoying his stuff, which I don't know why. He did a good job, not gonna lie. Oh, they did. Let's see, he's having me look through some of the old bits and pieces of stuff they moved when they were getting ready for the festival. And there's a sign over here that I'm gonna look at. Dun dun dun! Eerie Acres! Oop. See, it says Eerie Acres. So spooky. Oh, frickin', my god. It should be obvious. Why do I have to read it? I just turned it over. Jesus Christ. Cleary's Acres is carved on the sign, but it's crossed out with Eerie Acres. Seems pretty sus if you ask me. Apparently this area is supposed to be like long abandoned. Yeah, it must have been called Eerie Acres a while ago, which is what that specter told me about. It said something about Eerie Acres. So now we're gonna go confront this guy. Yeah, and he just goes on to say, oh, Bingo wants me to tell this guy to cancel it, but he's like, what's wrong with you? This place hasn't been inhabited for dozens of years. And by this time, the whole idea of Eerie Acres is so old that, like, nobody alive knows what it is. So we're going on, like, a wild goose hunt. We're doing some investigative shiz. So yeah, now we're gonna investigate it further. And we're gonna go to Will Whitfoot and Michael Delving, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we're in Michael Delving, which is kind of like the city, and he's the mayor, so we're basically coming to ask him if he knows anything about a hobbit named Cleary or Eerie Acres, and he has no idea because he's relatively new, I think. But he tells me to go and ask Brownbird Foxtail with the Matham House, so I'll go there. And he doesn't know either. Well, it sounds kind of familiar, but then he tells me to ask the postmaster, which I agree is a good idea. The postmaster is kind of like the mailman, who's been around for a while. And then he about shits himself because at last I thought this day would never come and I would go to my grave with this task unfulfilled, one more disappointer in a long line of ashamed postmasters. But it is not to be. This mail shall at least last be if I could frickin' read, good God. Basically, when he first became a mail deliverer, the one before him, postmaster, told him about this old box of envelopes that never got delivered. And they've basically been sitting in here for forever, looking for someone to be given to, so I'm going to read them. I'm too big to be in here. I'm a big, tall person. Also, you have a very messy post office, my guy. They can be... Dude, do you see how tall I am? These aren't shit. We are more organized than we seem, I assure you. But yeah, these letters are for me. Ivy Redsmith. I don't know why you're floating in air, but screw it. Dear Mr. Cleary, I hope I am not intruding, but I wish to write you this note of thanks. I had a delightful visit with you, and am already looking forward to ours of next week. As I promised, I will bring some fresh produce from my father's garden. You will not believe the crunch of our carrots. They are truly something. When next I visit, I will help you clean the weeds out of your own garden. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but I find gardening to be very rewarding. Very sincerely yours, Ivy Redsmith. I like her. She's sweet. You'll see why. This is just kind of sad, actually. It's just sad and depressing. Dear Mr. Cleary, thank you once again for another lovely visit. I hope you don't feel too badly about what your neighbors have been saying. They seem a poor lot, mean-spirited and unwelcoming. Pay no heed to their insults, and I will not either. Looking forward to our next visit. Ivy Redsmith. Dear Mr. Cleary, this winter has been very bad, hasn't it? I am sorry to tell you the weather must keep me at home. I cannot visit this week. But I promise to bring some soap and towels with me when next I visit. I will scrub away the mean things your neighbors wrote on your fence in no time. Warm regards, even in the cold. Ivy Redsmith. Dear Mr. Cleary, has it already been 2 months? I cannot believe it, but I know it is so. I have never seen snow like this. It began as a winter's lark, but now... I am sorry I have not been able to visit. There is no sign of the weather's improvement, and my family's worries deepen every day. I promise I will see you as soon as the winter ends. Waiting to see the sun again. Ivy Redsmith. Dear Mr. Cleary, they say this terrible winter might soon be done, though they have said this before. I hope this time they are right, for it has taken its toll on my family and all my friends. Our food is nearly gone. They say it will be a time of famine unless something can be done. Do not think I am being forward, but I am worried for you, Halson. Your home was in no state to weather such a winter as we have had. I hope your neighbors at last showed you kindness. Could they have given you shelter, shared their food, and found warmth in their hearts for you? I hope they have. They would be cruel hobbits indeed if they have not. Are my letters being delivered? I have heard no word from you for more than a year, Halson. You could not possibly have stayed in your home this whole time. Could you? Worried, hungry, and afraid for you. Your dear friend, Ivy Redsmith. You're breaking my heart, Ivy. These letters are indeed very old. It seems to me that Ivy and Halson lived during the time of the long winter, which gripped the Shire more than 250 years ago. It was the longest ever recorded, and it was followed by the days of dearth, a period of famine and unhappiness, the like of which has never been seen again. It is said that many hobbits died during the winter and the food shortage that followed. I hope that fate did not befall Ivy or Halson, but if there are no further letters, it seems they likely came to a sad end. I wonder why these letters were never delivered. The hobbits of the Quick Post must have had their hands full just trying to survive the long winter. It does strike me as somewhat odd that the letters that predate the snow were not delivered. Yeah, me too, bro. I want to know, why were his neighbors such poo-poo people, man? Like, frick, dude. I don't think he was that weird. Why are you saying how rude to me, old man? Frick you. Oh, now I'm gonna go talk to the escrow broker, someone who deals with housing. There is a deed for a parcel of land in the Cleary name. It says it sounds quite deep in the forest, near Wistmead. There have been no transactions relating to that parcel, so it's still probably owned by Cleary. Anyway, it does exist, so we're gonna go and check it out, my guys. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so we've talked to Bingo, and now we're gonna go take the Wimp with us to investigate. Fun. And we're gonna take a torch with us so we don't get lost this time in the fog. No, this was a bad idea. No, this is a great idea. Ooh, so spooky. Did you hear that? Oh, maybe it was my imagination. Yes, it definitely was. It's an abandoned farmhouse. You better check it out. Yeah, you'll wait here and watch like a baby. The side cannot be opened from this. And the porch is empty. We'll check it over here. Door to the cellar appears unlocked. And the back is encroached by a forest. And it's unlocked. Let's go in. Heck yeah. This is extremely abandoned. Oh, you don't? Well, get over yourself. Oh, check this out. It's green eyes! Oh no! Hi, kitty. You're a little shit, you know that? This is why I read all of them. Because we're gonna see weird hallucinations, and it's fun like that. I don't know, I thought it was cool that they did this. Oh, there's the dude that got trapped in his larder. I mean, he was kind of a douchebag, not gonna lie. Yes, he will. But screw him. Honestly, screw him. Oh, here's the fish. What, they're not that scary? They're kind of cool looking. Well, maybe Odo Grub shouldn't have been so grubby. Haha, but Yeah, let's keep going. Hi, Pooh. What's this? My cat says hello. Yes, hi, Pooh. What's this one? Oh. Scarecrow. He has his back turned. You stupid idiot. That's the one from the Scarecrow. Scarecrow story. I don't think so, my guy. Yeah, another door. How about you open it, you freaking idiot? Yes, I will go forward. Oh, there's a dude who can't ever sleep. That sucks. There's something peculiar about... Oh. Well, there's Gondor. That's more of a horror for me. That's Gondor. Oh, there's Moria. That's like foreshadowing. Even though this character's been through Moria by now. There's some fun crystals. I think that's hinting late in Moria. I'm not sure. This character hasn't gone through Gondor yet. They're in the middle of Rohan. But then... Oh, that's just trippy. And cool. And this is Ravanian, so yeah, this is out. This is hinting at Mordor's down here, and Gondor's over here, and then Erebor's up there. Fun stuff. That's out in Eregion, I believe. Bunch of trophies, which is not creepy at all. But yeah, it was kind of supposed to be a walkway through my own horrors as well as a traveler, which is fun. You think, you idiot. Yeah. Halcyon Cleary is dead. Halcyon Cleary? And there's a specter we saw. Man, Hickoff! Hickoff, you stupid. Hey, get away from him. He's cool. And he died in the freaking winter or something. And his neighbors were shit. Oh yeah, it's posing as his, like, angry ghost. But it's not. It's just some ancient ghost that decided to come here. Based off, like, the weird messed up energy or something. This place is creaky. Oh, and then reinforcements have arrived. Wow! I don't believe your house in Cleary and all. Well, hi, Pooh. I have read a number of scary stories to celebrate this season, and this is simply not how otherworldly spirits behave. Okay, because you have so many things to pin it against. I myself have been around many a ghost. Dang. That's nice. Yes, which is terrible. Because screw them neighbors, bro. Okay, that squeaking can stop anytime soon. Ivy Redsmith wept for him. She was his one true friend. And I pass out the notes so we can fight him with words. No, stop this nonsense at once. Enough! The long winter had been like none the Shire had ever seen. Hobbits died of hunger and cold even among their friends and their families. Ivy Redsmith wanted to help House and Cleary, but the winter prevented it. This changes nothing. House and Cleary was hated by his neighbors. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking like that. They whispered cruel things about him and they let him die. Yes, they did, and they're terrible. I don't think he died out of rage. I think he died out of sadness. And hunger. There are places in this world where evil spirits dwell. Marigold has told me quite a lot about some of them. I have. Such spirits make the land more like themselves just by being here. You strike me as a barrow down sort of chap. You right. Screw the barrow downs. So? I think you left the Barrow Downs and settled here at Cleary's Acres. But I think you came here before you say you did. What does it matter, Hole Dweller? That just sounds wrong to call him that, man. It matters. It matters because I think it was your presence that caused Halsin's neighbors to dislike him. I say it was not. What did you say your name was? The Skulking Ire? Or you're more like the Skulking Liar. Ha ha ha. That'll teach you. Are you not afraid of me? I'm not. You arrived and Halsin's neighbors felt uneasy. They knew something was not quite right about Cleary's Acres. But they didn't know what it was. It was you. It was you the whole time. This does not change anything. Halsin Cleary died. Well, yeah. He died alone with only me for company. Well, that's because you're a piece of poop. He did, knowing this won't bring him back. But if I could tell him that he was missed, I would. I would tell him that even when he felt most alone, there were still hobbits who cared. Stay back. Go back to the freaking Borough House. Did you suspect you were to blame for his solitude? Leave me be. No, I think you're the one who needs to leave. That's right. Get the heck out of here. Nobody likes you. Then take your curse with you. Bye. Bye-bye. Heck out of here. I was a little too excited. Let's see. He's gone, and I suspect Hobbits at Wistmead will no longer feel the effect of his presence. We wish we could have done more to help Halson Cleary. His is a sad story, would agree. Very depressing. But they are going to give him a proper burial with Ivy Redsmith's letters, which I think is cute. We love that. So maybe he could be at peace. Yep. That's as good as this ending could go. Yes, you called him a skulking Larry. GG, man. GG. Yeah, and that's it. That is it, my dear children. And with that, that is the completion of the Curse of Eerie Acres. So I'm gonna stop it here. This has probably been a long episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I always like coming through the festival and redoing the storyline, because I remember the first time I went through it, I was like, oh my god. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this like Halloween special, if you will. But next week's video will be a special planned speed build, so I hope you're ready for that. But other than that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!